everybody. This is my Samsung Galaxy S4 and it is the model number Samsung-SGH-I337 and it's from AT&T, as you can see right there. And this video will actually show you how to replace a broken camera on this phone. Now I'll show you my issue here and you can see how bad it is. And as you can see, the glass is all smashed out. And I did manage to, scrape away some of the glass and reveal the lens, as you can see right there. And it works okay, but I want to replace it. I don't want that exposed like that. Now, I know that you can get a lens cover, like the glass piece itself, to cover the camera, for $3 or $4 on Amazon or eBay, but I don't want to fool around with the glass that fell into the camera itself, because it's smashed. It is glass and little pieces may have fallen in there and they may affect the performance of that lens. So I went out to find out how much a new one was, and it was like $7.15 on Amazon. There it is right here. That's a replacement camera, and it came nicely sealed in a statically protective bag, and it was sealed, so I know it's not a return or a reused item. And I did buy it on Amazon for $7.15. And basically, I opted for a whole new camera because I don't want to fool around with having to take the little cover off it and use a knife. And for $3, that's what you get to do. You get to do a lot of labor on the camera, and you don't know whether you've gotten all the glass out of it or not. In this case, for $7.15, I get a new camera, no brand new glass on top of it, no concerns about any issues with glass inside the actual camera assembly or camera unit. So let's change to the camera at this point on this phone. First thing you're going to do is shut your phone down. So we'll go and power it down here. Power off. All right. So the next thing you're going to need to do is take the back cover off. And when you flip it over on the left side, you'll see there's a little indentation there for your fingernail. So just take your fingernail there and pop the back cover off. And there it is. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. All right, there you are. You'll see at the back that there's several screws you need to remove. In total, I believe there is 9. So let me go through them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9 in total. And I'm going to be using my Phillips 00 head screwdriver, which is the proper size head for those screws. But prior to doing that, we're going to take the battery out. There's a little indentation here for your fingernail, so you can remove it by lifting it up like this. Remove your SIM card and your memory card if you have them, and you do that by pushing them in for the SIM card in that direction to unlock it, and it pops out. Okay, and same with the memory card. You just push it in that direction and it pops out. So there, those two things are out of there. I've got the memory, I got the battery out of there. Now we're going to start removing screws. So let's start doing that. I'm going to start here. Now don't worry about these screws on the back. They're all the same size. So I'm going to start at the top left-hand corner here. And, put them in a dish or something, someplace where you're not going to lose them. They're very, very tiny, as you can see right there. So just put them away so you don't lose them. There's all 9 screws taken out of the back. Next thing we're going to do is remove the speaker cover here, or the speaker assembly. It comes off as one unit. I'm going to use my case opening tool, my plastic case opening tool. Now if you don't have one of these, you may be able to use a guitar pick, and a worst case scenario, maybe your fingernail. And you'll see here there's a little indentation, and I'm going to use it to pry from the center here and lift up. Do not pry from this side because that's your power and data jack connector there. You don't want to damage it in any way whatsoever. So I'm going to do that from this side. And yeah, this requires a bit of force to get it to happen. There we go. So there you go. Hit it. Just lift it up once you pried it off. And next, what we're going to do is split the case along the edges to open up, well, basically to remove the back cover so we expose the circuitry on the actual phone to get at the camera. I'm going to use a guitar pick to pry that open. It's a pretty good tool for doing this kind of job. You want to stay away from metal implements of any kind because metal implements can scratch the surfaces or damage the actual phone and the phone circuitry. So using plastic, you're pretty safe. So I'm going to start in the middle here at the bottom, and I'm going to pry it open right as such. So let me zoom in on that so you can see. So you see how the guitar pick just fits underneath there. And I'm just going to pry it around the edges all the way around and pop the locks all the way through. Just like that. And you'll hear it clicking. Don't go too hard, you don't need to. There we go. Careful with the switches, you know, just be gentle. You don't have to go hard. Just keep going around. Best to start at the bottom. It's the easiest place to start. There we go. So that's it. That cover now just comes right off. Next, we're going to have to work on the actual circuit board here. We need to remove it from the actually just, you know, basically lift it off of here so we can get the camera, which actually is plugged into the back of this circuit board. So let's disconnect the connectors. You can use your guitar pick or the case opening tool if you wish. So we'll start over here, like so. Be real gentle with these. Don't bend them too much. Just lift them and get them out of the way. Like so. I suggest strongly here to leave the antenna wire on there. It's flexible and hopefully it'll stay when I flip the board. Excuse me. Hopefully it'll stay when I flip the board over. But be gentle with it, with everything here, especially all these little connectors. They are quite fragile. You want to be careful with them. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that have to come off. And there's also a screw here that has to come off last. So I'm going to take the connectors off and leave the screw in just to make my life a little easier. And just pry underneath them and lift them like so. And you can use a guitar pick, I'll show you that. Same thing, just pry underneath and lift. And there's all 5 disconnected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's another one here, but you don't need to take that one off. And like I said, I'm leaving the antenna on here just to make sure. I'm going to take this screw out here. Very tiny little screw right there. And that's the only different size screw you have, so just remember where that one goes. The rest are all the same size and they all go on the back cover. So there it is, that tiny little one off there. And my Phillips 00 still takes that one off, so it's the perfect size screwdriver for this job. Okay, this time I'm going to just lift this board up and be gentle with everything, including all the little connectors. Just move them out of the way to release yourself from their grip, like so. And as you can see, I'm flipping it over in this direction, like so. Just because I want to keep the antenna wire here on. Okay, now if it's got to come off, I'll take it off, but I don't think it really needs to. Now we're looking at the back of the camera, and you see the whole camera assembly there, and it looks like the exact same camera. So the connector is right here, so I'm going to just put my guitar pick underneath that, lift it up, and pick it off just like that. And there's the camera out of there with all the broken glass and all that. Now, like I said, you can try and change that glass yourself, save yourself $3 or $4, but I don't know, for $7.15 you get the whole camera, you don't have to fool around with it. I go with that option every time. It's just way more an effective fix. You may be able to change the lens, but what if something goes wrong? What if there's dust underneath there, moisture, whatever? I'm not fooling around with that. For $7.15, I'm putting a new camera in. Now this camera has a protective coating on it. I'm not sure whether you can see it or not. Let me zoom in. All right, so it may look like it's scratched up, but actually that's just a protective coating. It did come in a sealed container, and even though it has a protective coating, it's got a circle cut out in the center of it. So you could actually leave it on there, but I'm just gonna peel that off once I get it onto the actual camera, onto the actual phone itself. May peel it off prior to putting the back cover on, just because it's probably going to be easier, but we'll see. So we got the camera here. We're just going to put that one back in, and notice that it doesn't fit from the back. You have to slide it around the front like so. Okay, sorry, I'm not in the shot here. Sorry. Here we are. Okay, so again, like I said, there's a protective coating on it. We're going to take that off, and just slide the camera underneath it like so, the board, and once you got it there, just connect the connector. And all you need to do to connect the connector is align it right and press it down. So let's do that. And don't force it. It should go in fairly easy. Once you align it, and once I align it, there we go, just like that. Now the camera is connected electrically to the board, the main board, and let me zoom back out. Now we're ready to put the board back in. Things to be cognizant of here, these two little buttons here, these are two little switches. Be careful with those. Careful with all these ribbon cables here. Just be gentle with everything, right? And let's just put it back together. There we go. Sliding it under the ribbon cables, making sure I'm free of those. Like so. And a little bit of a jimming around there. Okay, press the camera down into its little square box that it fits into, like so. Notice my antenna cable is still in there. I just pushed it back into its little channel. And there we go. So I'm going to put all these connectors back on, all 5. 1, 2. You'll feel them click in when you've done it. 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to put a little black screw back in, back over here. There we go. I'll give you a zoom in so you can see everything I just did. All right, there's all the components connected. Obviously the antenna wire stayed on, nice and secure. Just be gentle with that. Don't pull on it. All the connectors, I'm gonna double check that they're all pressed down nicely, and they are locked in nice. So now we put the back cover back on. And that just snaps on. Look at the edges. And you'll hear it click it in. There we go. Okay, there's the back cover back on. We got to put the screws in it, but first we got to put the speaker assembly in, and it clicks on too. But you want to go from, you want to attach it, basically if you look at it, I'll give you a side angle here. You want to attach it from the back, sorry, from the bottom of the phone to the top. So you want to basically just sort of, make it a hinged install like this. So basically from the back of the phone, you want to go into the little hooks at the bottom like this, and then press down all the way around till it clicks all the way in. Now we put the 9 screws back in. All the 9 screws are the same size. So we got the 9 screws back in. We got to put our memory card and the SIM card and the micro SD card into the phone. So let's do that. And basically it just slides in, locks, push it in till it locks. Same with the SIM card. The terminals on the SIM card will be facing down. So we'll do that. So next we'll put the battery in. Contacts are right here and here, so make sure you mate them properly, like so. Put the cover back on, and again, I'm going to see what it looks like with the protective film on the camera, and whether I'm going to take it off or not. I'll just debate it for now. I'm not sure whether it's going to affect camera performance or not. And if I do remember correctly, when I did get the phone, it had that protective film on there too. So just put the cover back on, the back cover back on here, and just click it in. So, and now let's power up and test that camera. All right, let's test the camera out. There it is. Wow, focused really fast and nice. Looking at the plate. Oops, lost the camera. Let's get it back. There we go. And as you can see, my camera is now fixed and focusing nicely, and actually looks really great. I always found the Samsung had a really nice camera on it. See if you can see it. I'll bring it up a little more and get a little less. There you go. And as you can see, camera's working just great. And there's our broken one. I may take it apart to take a look at it, but I mean, seriously, for $7.15 you get the whole camera. It's the same amount of work to change it, so might as well just buy a new one. Okay, so looking good. Okay, bonus video time here. I took my utility knife and I peeled the metal bracket off from around the edges of the camera. And first thing I noticed was that the metal bracket itself was bent. Of course, if you're only buying the glass, you get the metal bracket and the glass. But I also noticed that since the metal bracket was bent, that means that the camera was hit right here at the top of the camera. And if you see here, I'll open it up and flip it over a little bit, you'll see that there's a damage to the camera right here, and that the camera is actually broken right here on this portion. You see a little snap in that plastic there, right there. So, and the glass is all adhered to this surface here, so I'm very glad I didn't just go for just the glass and the actual cover, because I had damage beyond the glass and the cover. You see all the plastic is smashed here, and you know, all this glass is still flying around there, and it has to be pulled off. And considering that I actually damaged the not just the glass but the actual camera itself, for the extra $4 that it cost me for the difference between the glass and the whole camera with the glass, I'm very glad I went with that option. I will put a link to all the tools and supplies that I used in this video in the video description, and you know, and also as well for the camera and the supplier that sent me this camera. It works great. It looks absolutely the same as the original, so I'm very happy with that $7.15 repair. Of course, prices will vary with time. That's it for my video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video and it helped you out in some way, do me a favor, click on the like button right down here, and you know, if you wish to subscribe to my channel, just click on this link up here, and that should subscribe you to the Richard Lloyd channel, or Richard Lloyd USA channel. Okay, again, thank you very much for your time and watching.